In this video, I'm going to share with you the best exercise that every single front-end developer has to do. If you are not doing this exercise, if you are not putting it into practice, and if you don't understand the lessons that come from this exercise, you'll absolutely be a failure of a developer, trust me. So this exercise is so good and it's so important that I make every single person who joins my program to do it. It doesn't matter if they're a bootcamp grad, it doesn't matter if they are self-taught and they just learned, the basics of programming. It doesn't matter if they've been coding for 1 or 2 years and they've been applying with no, results whatsoever. They have to do this exercise, and it's extremely powerful. And in fact, I have shared this exercise in one of my best performing videos, and everyone called me a scammer for saying that you should be doing this exercise. But you know who doesn't call me a scammer? People who actually do it and get the results from it. So without any further ado, let me show you what this is all about. So the exercise that I'm gonna ask you to do, and you will not do because it's for free on YouTube, but anyway, let's say you are gonna do it. It's called the array methods exercise. So this is actually very simple and it's very straightforward. What you need to do is you have to replicate and code from scratch a bunch of array methods. And what I've done for my students and for you as well right now, I have selected the best ones, okay? The ones that come up the most and the ones that will challenge you the most and the ones that are super useful, okay? The ones that you'll be pretty much using every single time. And I have put them for you here in a Notion, and I have sorted them on alphabetical order as I found them on MDN, and I sort them on the difficulty, like how hard they are to implement, and based on importance, aka how often are you going to use said array methods. Okay, so I sort them out for you and I've literally give them to you on a silver platter. You have the link for this in the description of this video if this video gets 100 likes. Okay, so let me tell you before we go into you downloading this Notion file and not using it at all, let's explore why this is so important, okay? So this exercise is very important because it gets you, first of all, familiar with all the array methods. You know how everyone says you don't need to know the syntax of every single array method, you just need to know about it? Well, now you will know about it, you'll know how it works, you'll know how to use it, right? And probably you'll even remember the syntax. And now you'll be way better than someone that says, oh, you just need to know about it. Because that person is not playing at the standards that you will be playing if you do this exercise, right? So that's the first benefit. The second benefit, if you look at where I place this exercise, is right after these 3 websites. So my students, my clients have to make 3 websites that are pixel perfect. And once they're doing that, they have to learn the basics of JavaScript, like arrays, loops, functions, all that stuff. And to be able to graduate and to move on to the next step, which is building apps and so on and so forth. As you can see here, by the way, this is for download as well. It's like $50, you can buy it. And before they can even do that, they need to do these array methods. Why? Because as explained in the previous point, you learn how all these array methods work. You learn exactly how to use callback functions, if else statements, how to use for loops, etc, etc. You learn all these things and everything is going to start to click for you. If you are more of a veteran, which is an unemployed junior developer, things will start to click as well for you, and you'll start to feel more confident about the array methods that you should be knowing, right? If you only know map, that's bad. If you don't know the difference between map and for each, well, that's also bad. If you don't know the difference between map and filter, or if you don't know exactly what a callback in the filter method should be doing, then that's pretty bad. And that's how you learn this stuff. You understand the method, you replicate it, and then you understand how it works, okay? Deeply. Like my father told me once when I was very young, and this thing kind of stuck with me. I didn't really like my father's attitude. I kind of have it as well. Sometimes I'm like, oh, shouting and trying to get your attention, but my dad is like pretty bad at teaching anyway. But he always told me this, like, stop being a stupid and try to understand what you are doing before you jump in and do it. He was always telling me this. And I'm Eastern European, right? That's how our dads talk to us. But this thing stayed with me, and this is kind of a principle that I'm taking in every single thing that I'm doing, right? If you buy this roadmap and if you try to understand how every single app is building on top of each other and how logical it is, you'll see that I'm using that principle, okay? I'm using this principle of trying to understand why I'm doing a certain thing in every area of my life. I have personal trainers at the gym and the guy is showing me how to lift my arm to hit the right muscle, you know what I mean? And he's telling me like, if you bend your elbow like this, you have lever like that. If you do it like this, you'll have a lever here, and so on and so forth. So I'm trying always to understand how to do things and what is the reason for why this thing works like this, because that's gonna make me smarter, right? And that's why I'm urging you to do this exercise, okay? But I 100% know that if this video is gonna have 1,000 views, maybe one guy is gonna do it. And probably that guy who's gonna do it is one of my students because he paid me. And whenever you pay for advice, you are going to implement it like that. I had a free program, which I closed right now, side note. I closed it because like people weren't doing anything, right? So now I'm gonna put all my courses in there and I'm gonna charge maybe $600 for like 3 months or something like that. I'm gonna figure out how to charge it because I want people to take action. Otherwise, everyone is kind of lurking around. If you want to have the entire roadmap with videos explaining you every single app, with examples, with requirements, like for example, Pomodoro app. So here we have a Figma with a design. Then we have basic requirements, extras, and then we have for the real ones, right? So this is how this roadmap actually looks like. You can get access to it right now. It's $50 and you can see all the array methods, or wait till this video is gonna have 100 likes and then I'm gonna put the link in the description and then you can grab it, okay? So again, I'm trying to sell you this really hard because I believe in it and I believe it's gonna help you. But it's up to you to do it, right? Whenever I'm trying to sell you something hard, like for example, in the last video, I told you, hey, do this app or try to think about doing an app like this because if you have a portfolio, you'll be a loser. Try to understand why I'm saying you'll be a loser if you have a portfolio app, right? Remember what my dad told me? I'm selling you that really hard because that is going to work, okay? And another thing that's gonna work is my mentorship program, Segway Coaching, that works, okay? If you don't wanna waste your time, like an 18-year-old that has all the time in the world and lives with his mom in the basement. If you're 25, you have a full-time job, you don't wanna waste 2, 3, 5 years of your life trying to do this. You wanna do it properly. You want to have like 2 hours that are going to be dedicated towards coding, and you're going to follow a process, follow a roadmap, ask feedback, ask questions whenever you get stuck, be in a community, have live calls, prepare for the interviews, all that good stuff. So you can actually get a high paying job where you can make 80, 90, 120 $1,000 a year, where you can work remotely either from your home or from Mexico, from wherever you want to be in Europe. You want to get a new car, a new house, all that good stuff is gonna come up once you double, triple your current income. And you can either do it in 3 years and do it the hard way because it's gonna get harder and harder to get in, or you can do it the easy way by joining my mentorship program. You can click the first link in the description and I'm gonna make some crazy announcements. I'm gonna show you some sick progress because if you see here in the roadmap, we have a team project which is like 120 days. Well, I spent a buttload of money on the design for the landing page. We have a sick project. You've seen some of the guys on the channel. They are working on that team project right now. Their skills are like going through the roof. It's absolutely insane. I'm so happy and so excited to show you, to flex on you what other people are doing when they are putting into practice my advice. And when you are surrounded by sharks and by people that are hungry, hungry to win, okay? Not hungry because they are unemployed, but hungry to win because they love playing the game. So if you want to learn how to do this properly and to stop wasting your time, apply for a free consultation call. First link in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.